Hello, Algebra 2 students. Today we are going to simplify polynomial expressions using addition, subtraction, and multiplication. If your notes are partially completed from the previous class, you can just fast forward to the parts that you need. Please feel free to try any of these problems before you watch the video. You have the skills needed to solve these problems already. I'm going to start from the beginning though, just in case anybody was absent last class. So we're going to start by simplifying. We're going to multiply. And whenever you multiply, remember to distribute. So x times x is x squared, x times -2, and then I distribute the 6 times x, and 6 times -2. And then after you distribute, you want to combine like terms. So I'll combine -2x and 6x to make a positive 4x, and bring down the x squared and the -12. So that's a multiplying problem when you distribute. You do not distribute for addition or subtraction. So for addition or subtraction, it says distribute if necessary. Not necessary for most of these. Usually not necessary. Only down here, where I have this 3 outside the parentheses, would I distribute. All right, so I just need to find my like terms. I'm going to start with my biggest exponent so I can get my polynomial in standard form. So I'm going to combine 3x squared and 1x squared to make 4x squared. When you add and subtract, your exponent does not change. Next, I'm going to do 11x and its like term, -5x. And then finally, my constant terms, 4 and -1. Okay, all my like terms are combined, so I'm done. Next one, same thing. If you have not paused the video yet, you should be pausing the video to try these before you listen up. So I have nothing to combine with this 9x to the 3, so it just comes down. I'll combine my -4x squared and my -2x squared. And I'll combine my +2x and my +1x. And then finally the constant terms, -10 plus 7. If you're having any trouble with the adding and subtracting, feel free to use Desmos. Just remember you can only put the coefficients in Desmos, you can't put the x in there. All right, number 3 is a little tricky because it's a word problem, but it's asking about a rectangle. So whenever you have a word problem, draw a picture. So here's my picture of a rectangle. And it says the width is x squared plus 2x plus 4. And it says the length is 3x squared plus 5x minus 6. And it wants to know the perimeter. So perimeter is all the way around. And I'm missing these two sides, but remember, opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So this side will also be x squared plus 2x plus 4. And then this side will be 3x squared plus 5x minus 6. So now I have all the sides and I can add them up by combining like terms. So first add up the x squareds. Remember, if it just says x squared, that's 1x squared. So 3x squared plus 3x squared plus 1x squared plus 1x squared is 8x squared. Looking at the x's, 5x plus 2x plus 5x plus 2x is 14x. And then combining my constants, I have -6, +4, -6, +4. That should give you -4. All right, try your subtraction problem again before listening in. But when you start to check it, make sure you have distributed your minus to everything in the second set of parentheses. So this minus distributes. Bring down the first one. You don't need the parentheses anymore. And then when I distribute the minus, it becomes minus 3x squared. Minus makes a plus 4x. And then minus 17. All right, now you want to combine your like terms. Start with your biggest exponent. So that would be this one. So negative 2x to the third has nothing to combine with, so it's going to come down. I'm going to combine the positive 5x squared and the negative 3x squared. I'm going to combine the 2x and the 4x. And lastly, there's nothing to combine with 17, so I just bring down the minus 17. All right, again, here's another subtraction problem. Same method. Try it before you listen. All right, so there was this 3 to distribute. So because the 3 is on the outside, it means to multiply it. And when we multiply, we distribute. So I have 3x to the 4 plus 3x to the 3 minus 6x squared plus 21. And then distribute the minus to each of the terms in the second set of parentheses. So I have minus x cubed, or 1x cubed, and I also have a minus 2. Combine your like terms. So bring down the 3x to the 4. It does not have a like term. And I have 3x to the 3 minus 1x to the 3 is 2x to the 3. And then there's no like term for negative 6x squared. And I don't have any that are just x, but I do have two constants to combine. 21 minus 2 is 19. All right, turn the page. On this page, we are multiplying. So if you like multiplying with the box, you can. I just distribute. FOIL doesn't actually make sense unless you're multiplying two binomials, which you are in certain places. So I just think of it as distributing. So first I'll distribute my x. Now, when you multiply, you add exponents and think about why. If I have x to the 1 times x to the 2, well, x to the 1 is just x, and x squared is x times x. So now I have 3 of them, that's x to the third. Okay, so you can see when I have exponents here and I'm multiplying, I add the exponents. So when I distribute this, I have to remember to add my exponents. X to the 1 times x to the 2 gives me x to the 3. This is going to multiply x to the 1 times 2x to the 1 to make 2x to the 2. And then x to the 1 times 1 is 1x to the 1. Then you distribute the negative 7 times each of these. Negative 7 doesn't have an x, so it's not going to change any of my exponents. Negative 7x squared. Notice how I'm lining it up with its like term. That gives me negative 14x, and that gives me negative 7. You can write it all in one line if you want, but I like to line them up so that I can combine my like terms easily. Here, that gives me x to the third. Adding these together, negative 5x squared. Adding these, negative 13x, and there's no like term, so I just bring down the negative 7. All right, we have another rectangle problem. This time it has a width of x minus 4 and a length of x squared minus 2. But this time it's asking for the area, and remember that area of a rectangle is length times width. So I just need to multiply these two. Okay? All right. So just like with the warm-up, I'm going to multiply those two. Remember to add your exponent, so I get x to the 3 minus 4x squared. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. And this time, I don't have any like terms to combine. All right, even though number 3 looks scary, try it first, just piece by piece, okay? One piece at a time. All right, so hopefully now you are checking your work. The 5 does distribute, but a common mistake is that people distribute it to all of these. If I distributed 5 to all 3 of these, I would be multiplying it by 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125, which is way too big. So just multiply the 5 times one of the binomials, usually the first one, and I get 5x minus 2. Nope, minus 10. And I bring everything else down. All right, then distribute 2 more. So I'll distribute these 2. 5x times x, 5x times 4. I get 5x squared plus 20x. Then distribute the negative 10. Negative 10x minus 40. Combine these like terms here to get 10x. And bring down your x minus 1. All right, so we need to distribute one more time. You could start from the trinomial and distribute to the binomial. For me, it feels easier to go the other direction, but that's totally up to you. So I'm going to distribute this x to the 1 first, and I'm going to multiply it times each of these. So I'm going to get 5x to the 3 plus 10x to the 2 minus 40x. And then I'm going to distribute the negative 1 times each of these. So I get negative 5x to the 2 minus 10x and plus 40. Combine my like terms, and my final answer is 5x to the 3 plus 5x squared minus 50x and plus 40. All right, you should definitely try the bonus. It won't feel special if you don't do it on your own. Try it first and then come back to the video. All right, you do the same procedure as before. So 3x times 2x will give you 6x squared. 3x times 6y will give you 18. And then you have 2 variables, so times x times y. Okay, distribute the negative 4y, so I'm going to get negative 8. You can write yx if you want, but that's not different from xy. So I like to write it in the same order to remember that they're like terms. And then finally, negative 4y times 6y is going to give me plus, oh actually minus 24y squared. So I have 6x squared plus 10xy minus 24y squared. All right, and you're done. Your substitute should have some practice problems for you.